Sadia, what's the worst thing to say to someone who's just gone through a breakup?
The worst thing that you can say to somebody who's just gone through a breakup is that, well, you knew he was like that anyway, so what's the problem? I know, yeah, sometimes we do know the person was already like that. We know. But right now, dwelling on that person is probably the least important part of the healing process. To get over a heartbreak, it's not so much that we have to forget the person that we're heartbroken about, but we just have to try and rediscover ourselves. And the best way to rediscover ourselves is not by focusing on the person, focusing on what he did wrong, how terrible he is. It's more just finding out what your patterns are, what your selection was, and then how you can improve your life so much so that the feelings for him become, they disappear. But dwelling on him and focusing on him and all his problems, I think that will just keep you invested in a relationship and make it harder for you to heal that heartbreak.
What about when you thought you were going to spend the rest of your life with someone and they left you, they moved on, they didn't see it the same way, but you were convinced after a few years that this was going to be your person and you break up? What actually helps?
I think the only thing that helps is just remembering that everything you wanted with this person, whether that vision was getting married, whether it was to have kids, whether it was to go on holidays, that vision is still attainable for you. You can still access that entire vision you had with them, with somebody new. And if you feel like you really loved that person, you probably just loved certain traits that they had. Those traits that he has are available in other men that will actually still make your vision come true. And hopefully the new person will not have the traits that cause the relationship to break down. So remember, it's not about the person. This is where people get stuck in heartbreaks. They think that their life happiness and the relationship and their end goal in life is in the hands of that particular person in that relationship. That end goal is something that they can still attain and achieve by themselves. If they just remember that they can still achieve it with somebody else, or they can achieve it by themselves, or they can achieve it through friends, that goal is more important than the person. And your vision is far more important than the relationship. So as long as you keep your vision in mind and remember that there's other people that can help you attain that vision, you will let go of that ego that's attached to that particular person that just broke your heart. And I know it sounds hard to do, but when you find out that somebody's hurt you and they've moved on and they've got a relationship, we can't be hurt and happy for somebody at the same time. If you want to remove your hurt for people, you almost have to try and be happy for them, even if they don't deserve it. You don't do it for them. You do it for your own sake, so you can suppress that feeling of hurt and just be like, look, he treated me terribly, but I would never want somebody else to go through that. So I hope he has a happy relationship. I hope he treats her way better than he treated me. And then hopefully you'll attract that positive energy back into your own life.
How do we get closure when the person doesn't give it to us?
We can get it through their actions, not their words. So if, for example, I really love this person and they just left me out of nowhere and they gave me no explanation, sometimes the closure is in their behavior. The fact that they could let me go and leave me hanging in that moment is all the closure I need, that maybe they didn't see me as important as I saw them. Maybe they found someone else. Whatever it is, their closure comes in their behavior, not just their words. Whatever they were going to say to you probably wasn't true anyway. They're probably just trying to make you feel better or trying to hide what the real reasons is. Their words are not so important, their actions are, and we can always find closure in people's actions.
Yeah, and often their actions are so painful.
Yeah, it says it all.
Break up with you over text. They don't want to talk to you.
And as hard as it is, it's usually our ego that seeks another conversation with them. If you really look at their behavior, your soul will know they're bad for you. So try and pay attention to, your soul knows if someone's good or bad for you. Our ego will just want the last word. They just want them to come crawling back to us so we can say, oh, we can reject them or we can have our last word. But try and remember that that's just your ego speaking. Your soul knows that this person probably wasn't right for you. If they were right for you, you wouldn't be suffering today. So try and let go of that need for validation and that need for conversation and replace it with their behavior spoke volumes.
That difference between the soul and ego is so powerful. The hard part is most of us are living through our ego daily and not our soul. So to suddenly flip into soul living, not ego living, in a breakup is extremely hard.
Yeah, because your ego is what looks right and your soul is what actually is right. And we always want to look right. We want to be the one that says, I don't want to be with them, or we want to be the one that broke up with them. But that's just a temporary high of being the one that had the final say or being the one that got to say this. These are temporary highs. The long-term high comes from not needing those conversations. It's almost like an emotional kind of neutrality towards that person. And the quicker you can get there, the quicker you actually heal. So the less you can pay attention to your ego, the closer you'll get to healing.
How would you encourage people to think about that through steps and stages?
I think the ego, when it comes to your soul and ego, the key difference is ego is what makes you look good in front of people. Soul is actually what makes you feel right. So it might make you look better, or to him, if you start posting pictures of you with another man or showing memes, it might make it, get a stab at them. But do you actually feel any better when you do that? The ego might make you say, look, go move on to another guy, go text your ex, go be with another person, make him jealous. But your soul will know it doesn't feel right. So the inner voice that you have, like, does this actually feel right? And how you can assess this, you ask yourself, if I didn't meet this person, like say my ex, I just broke up with my husband, and I was like, okay, if I didn't meet this person ever, would I be going on this date with this random guy, or would I be actually sitting at home watching TV with my friends? If the answer is I would still be going on the date with the guy, then chances are it's not your ego. You're probably just doing it because that's what you want to do. But if it's like, I'm only going to the club because I know he's going to be there now, I want to hurt him, or I'm only going to go text this other guy because I know it will hurt him. If you're allowing that person to dictate your feelings and what you do, then it's probably your ego speaking to yourself. Act like that person doesn't exist, and then ask yourself, what do you want to do with yourself? And if the answer is, I just want to heal, I just want to cry, I just want to feel good, like I want a couple of days to myself, then do that rather than just trying to play that game and seeing who looks better and trying to win, because there's no winner when you follow your ego.
I was really happy that we started with the two core issues you go through with your clients, because I think they're, even if it's not women cheating on men or it's men cheating on women, it's infidelity. And then this idea of commitment, which I think are two of the biggest things that everyone's struggling with. And then at the same time, talking about relationships at the top end of attracting the 3 A's, the 3 L's.
Isn't it a paradox that the women that want commitment and the men that are committed, they're not finding each other? There's the men that are getting treated badly in relationships, and the women that are getting treated badly, and they seem to be attracting each other, unfortunately, which is a shame.
Why is that?
I think there's something about being too nice as a person, both women and men. They don't attract each other because they don't feel useful when we're with somebody else who's equally as nice as them. They almost feel better when they're with somebody a bit tougher and stronger, so they can, feel like the nice person in that relationship. If they simply met each other, it would be a great resolution to this problem that we're facing in modern dating at the moment.
Yeah. I think a big part of it is also healing and retraining our own desires, because not everything you want is good for you. And sadly, the things that are good for you don't want them.
I know, unfortunately.
And so the sad part is you're attracted to the things that are bad for you.
Just like with food, just like with everything in life, unfortunately, we were attracted to things that are bad for you. But the moment you heal your self-esteem, what will happen is you'll have a natural distaste towards things that are bad for you. People who don't love you, people who don't treat you right. How you know your self-esteem is improving is at the moment those people start treating you badly, you lose attraction to them. And the moment people treat you well, you increase your attraction to them. And that is a real signal. I know sometimes you can get love bombed and the person is just so nice to you, and then you're attracted to that. But it's that steady, healthy pace of people treating you nicely that you are attracted to, which will help heal your self-esteem.
Sadia, you've been amazing. We end every On Purpose episode with a final 5. These have to be answered in one word to one sentence maximum. So Sadia Khan, these are your final 5. Question number 1, what is the best relationship advice you've ever heard or received?
Pick peace over pleasure. Always choose somebody who will give you more peace than pleasure if you want a long-lasting relationship.
Question number 2, what is the worst relationship advice you've ever heard or received?
You are somebody's dream girl, or don't settle for less. I think anything that inflates your vision of what a real relationship looks like is going to make it difficult for you to find the right person.
Great answer. Question number 3, what's something that you think everyone believes to be true about love, but it's actually not true?
It should be unconditional. I don't believe that it should be true. You definitely need conditions for your love. Otherwise, you will attract people who abuse your kindness.
Oh, that's a great answer. Question number 4, what is something you used to believe was true about love, but recently you've disconnected with?
That just being with somebody who just loves you so much is all you need, when really without you being attracted to that person, it will feel like neediness.
5th and final question. If you could create one law that everyone in the world had to follow, what would it be?
You treat people behind their back as you do in front of them. So how you behave behind people's back is exactly how you are in front of their face. And if you practice that in your relationships, what happens is you don't need your partner to regulate you in any way, shape, or form. You act like the same person with or without their monitoring. And if you do that in life, I think you'll probably have more authentic relationships.
Sadia Khan, thank you so much.
Thank you.
This is without a doubt my favorite relationship episode we've ever done.
I don't believe you.
I mean, I wouldn't say that. We're going to leave it on the edit. We're going to leave it on the edit. I honestly have never gone that deep into the nuances of why and who and where, and just, I love the way you think about it. I really, really appreciate it. And I want everyone who's listening and watching to tag me and Sadia on Instagram, on TikTok, with the moments that resonated with you, that connected with you, that things you're going to stop doing from now on, things you're going to start doing, signs you're watching out for, because I want to see what you're putting into practice. If you don't follow Sadia across social media already, make sure you go and subscribe. I hope that it saves you from wasting time, money, and energy on the wrong person. And I really, really hope that it helps you connect with true, meaningful, lasting love. Sadia, I'm so grateful to you again.
You have no idea how much you
much.
have honored me today. So thank you so, so much for your time. I cannot believe I get to speak to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What is the 3M method?
This is a program that I'm launching actually very soon. And here what I do is I teach men just 3 factors on how to have really healthy relationships. First one is mastering yourself. You can never have a healthy relationship without a healthy relationship with yourself. Without self-esteem and self-confidence, there is no point dating. Then you have to master women. Now, women speak a completely different language and men believe them. What they say they want and what they unconsciously reward are completely different. And the final thing is mastering relationships, where you understand communication, conflict resolution, how do relationships work. If you come out of a relationship and you had good memories, good years and beautiful kids, it's not a failure. It's relationships, you're coming out of it with lowered self-esteem, broken homes, depression, anxiety, those are the failures. And that's where I come in with relationship skills.